You may not be lazy. You may just be disoriented. So what is disorientation? Well, I live near Austin. So if I want to be oriented towards Dallas, I need to face north. That has me properly oriented towards Dallas. Disorientation is I don't know where Dallas is. Or I know where Dallas is, but I don't know how to get there. What's the path to really getting there? What am I actually supposed to do? That's disorientation. Laziness is I know where Dallas is, and I may even be properly oriented, but I don't want to do it. That's laziness. So you may think you know what to do already, but you're just not feeling like doing it. Or you may know what to do, but you don't know where you're going. What is the destination that you're chasing? Or even worse, you don't know why you're doing it. Oh, dude, go and make a bunch of money. Yeah, but like, why? I know that there's something to that. I mean, I obviously want more money, but what's my why in this? I'm going to the gym and I'm lifting and I'm getting strong, but why am I doing this? To attract girls? To feel better about myself? Like, what is the why? So disorientation is when we're not sure where we're supposed to be going or why we're supposed to be going or how we're supposed to be going. Laziness is when we already have all three of those things and we choose not to do it because we don't feel like it. We don't feel like putting in the effort. All of us have been one of the two. And if you're a man, you have probably been disoriented more than you've been lazy. Because when you give a man a purpose and he knows exactly what he's supposed to do, he knows exactly why he's supposed to do it, and he knows the end destination and goal in mind, there's few things that can stop him. Chris Williamson said that if you give a man a purpose, he will crawl over broken glass with a smile. That's because we are designed by God to operate within our masculine purpose. So if you're struggling, asking yourself, am I lazy? I think I'm just lazy. I need to double down. I need to triple down on discipline. And you watch the Goggins edits and you watch the Jocko edits. Here's what you're doing. You're saying, I know that it's a 3.5 hour drive for me to get to Dallas, Texas, but I actually don't know where this road goes, so I'm just going to drive. You're probably going to cover a lot of miles, and you may get somewhere, but you're probably going to get somewhere on accident. Whereas the person who knows exactly where they're supposed to be going, and they know why they need to go there, why they need to be at that destination, that person is going to get to that place much faster than you just stepping on the gas and driving in a random direction. Now, one of my mentors has always said, like, take action when you have 80% of the knowledge that you feel you need to have before taking an action, go ahead and take it, because otherwise you'll get stuck in analysis paralysis. But he has never told me, don't get any information and then just take action. We wouldn't want to do that. So you need to be properly oriented. And so if you're disoriented, you're probably going to be struggling with anxiety. You're going to be struggling with some depression. You're going to be struggling with distraction and all sorts of things. Why is that? Well, here's what happens for you. You know that you are not living up to your potential. You know that you are living beneath what God designed you as a man to do. But you're completely unsure what you're actually supposed to be doing, which direction you're supposed to be going, or why you're supposed to really be doing these things. That's disorientation. And so what do? You do what I have done. You do what so many other people do. You distract yourself from the discomfort of disorientation by pulling out your phone and you scroll, or you watch online adult content, or you watch Netflix, or you drown yourself in fantasy football. You distract yourself with all the little bells and whistles that our world offers now, and you stay out of alignment with a truly meaningful, purposeful life because the discomfort of being disoriented is that strong. Whereas another person who is lazy, they know the things that they need to do. And they know why they need to do them, but they just don't want to. So they too distract themselves with their phone and with all these other types of things. So the symptoms look the same. It's inaction and distraction. There's nothing taking place and you're distracting yourself all the time. But the root cause may not be laziness. It may be disorientation. You need to be properly oriented with who God made you to be as a man. And so what is that? Well, in the 3 5s framework, the first of the 3 5s is the 5 traits. And so you need to have all five of those traits embedded, almost said embellished, embedded like within your soul, in your mind, and constantly be aiming to be those 5 traits. And what is that? That is strength. Scripture says the glory of a young man is a strength. You need to glory in being strong. Be strong in mind, be strong in body, be strong spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You need to carve your mind with knowledge and with wisdom. You need to carve your body by working out. You need to do those things. And you need to ask yourself, am I not being strong because I'm lazy or because I'm disoriented? Because if you're disoriented, you probably don't know that you need to aim for strength. So it's strength, honor, discipline, responsibility. That's probably the biggest one for men, is understanding that you actually have a responsibility to everyone else. You have a responsibility to everybody else. The 5 traits is strength, honor, courage, discipline, and responsibility. Strength, courage, honor, discipline, and responsibility. Those are the 5 traits of man. You need to be in alignment with your orientation. You need to be properly oriented and in alignment with how God designed you as a man. And if you're not, it may not be a discipline issue. It may not be a laziness issue. It may actually be a disorientation. So here's how we solve disorientation. We simply need to know where we're going, how to get there, and why we need to go there. And so this is solved through the 3 5s framework, which is the 5 traits of masculinity, which I just read off. The 5 traits of masculinity, which I just read off. I don't know if I said 3 or 5 there, but whatever. The 5 columns, which are the columns that undergird your life, which is your physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and financial well-being, the 5 columns of a man's life, and the 5 phases of a man's life. That is the timeline of your life. Which phase of life are you in? I, at 30 years old, married with 2 kids, I am in a completely different phase than you may be if you're 18 or if you're 25 or you're unmarried with no kids or you're married with 6 kids. I may be in a different phase than you. And so we need to know those things. And by the way, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The 5 phases are childhood, and these are taken from John Eldridge's book, Fathered by God. Fantastic book. Childhood, cowboy, warrior, king, and sage. And what you actually do within the 5 phases are different depending on which phase you're in. So if you are disoriented, you may think that you're in the phase of a king, when reality is you're actually in the phase of a warrior or of a cowboy or the phase of a sage. And so you're disoriented. And so you're trying to do what is actually for another time period of life. And when we don't know which phase we're in, and we don't know that the 5 columns exist, and that your life actually is split up into 5 different columns that undergird you, and we don't know the 5 traits of biblical manhood, of masculinity, and how God designed you as a man to operate, when we don't know those things, well, of course we're disoriented. And gentlemen, that's the problem with the modern world, amongst many problems, is that it has left us men completely disoriented. So the solution is to come back into alignment with God's design for you. It's His design. It's not mine. It's not Pastor Bob's. It's not the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church or Islam or Andrew Tate or Chris Williamson or Joe Rogan. It's not any of those people. It's God's. and how God designed men to be. And God designed men through the 3 5s. So we need to be properly oriented within God's framework, so that way we know exactly where we're going, why we're going there, and how to get there, so that way we can avoid falling into the trap of laziness. Because unfortunately, the end result ends up being the same. We're distracted. We're not doing anything, so there's inaction. We're distracted. We get nothing done, and we die having lived a subpar life, because whether you're disoriented or you're lazy, nothing got accomplished, nothing happened. You just distracted your life away into oblivion, and before you realized it, it was too late. The only problem here is that if you do wake up and you realize you're disoriented, the solution is not just discipline and hard work into oblivion, because you're going to hop in the car and you're going to go, I need to make some progress. And you'll just drive off in a random direction, not knowing if you are, to stick with the analogy, going towards Dallas or not. Now, for the record, Dallas would not be a place that I would head to as a destination. Not anymore, but you get the point that I'm sticking with. You may end up somewhere, you may not. But for a man who knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. So if you want more information on the 3 5s framework, then just check out the link below in the description. Until then, love you boys.